Dad, what are you doing here?
Okay, he's her dad. I didn't see that coming. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon coming to you with a reaction to Phineas and Ferb. Now that it's summertime, I'm looking forward to reacting to some of these, just like in the theme song, Summer Vacation for many of us. A lot of you commented on a post that I did about Phineas and Ferb, and one of the episodes you guys recommended was this one. It's called Doof 101, and I have no idea really what this one is about. I see this evil scientist guy from Phineas and Ferb. I don't know what his name is, and this little penguin or platypus character. I'm not really well versed in the Phineas and Ferb world, but I'm going to do the best I can. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, take a minute and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. Without further ado, let's get into it.
So the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it.
And this show has such a good theme song. I know you all know what I'm talking about, and it's perfect for this summer, but I can't include it. I'm going to have to just move on and get into the episode. All right, Danville High School.
Oh, the basic. Pretty cool when I was at my mom's and okay when I was at my dad's. Did you know in July he actually removed all the blue from all the paintings at the museum?
All right, so unlike most episodes of Phineas and Ferb that take place in the summer, this one is like right after school resumes, and it looks like this is a high school science classroom, but let's keep going.
Good morning, people. As you know, there have been some staff changes. If you'll sit down, I will introduce you to your new science
It's the
teacher.
principal.
Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
What?
He was the king of evil science until things went a little awry.
Now he's turning over a brand new leaf and he's not so bad a guy.
So this is pretty hilarious. I have a few comments. So first of all, I guess that was the principal that walked in. I didn't know there was a principal in Phineas and Ferb, but he walks in and says, as you know, there have been a few staffing changes, which you do have that, particularly at the beginning of the school year, but you wouldn't do it like that, right? So at the beginning of class, the teacher would just come in and introduce themselves, especially if it's the beginning of the school year. You wouldn't have the principal personally go in there and do that. You would just have this guy, I don't know his name, or actually I think they just said it, Doofenshmirtz or something like that. And this was pretty hilarious. A judge saying prison or high school. That does not happen, at least not with the high school. So there are many situations in the justice system where someone will offer a choice, both for adults and for juveniles. I know for juveniles, many of my former students, or not many, but some of my former students have had issues like that where they would be offered a choice where you can do this or you can do that. And usually the second option is much, much more favorable and allows them to involve going to something like youth detention or some other form of incarceration. They would have to complete some sort of special program or be on probation or have an ankle monitor, and all of those things typically includes going to school every day and making sure that they're in school every day by either having an ankle monitor and having a probation officer visit them. In this guy's case, he's relegated to high school rather than going to prison. That would never ever happen in real life. Most school districts are very careful about who they let into the classroom. Often new hires have to go through a background check, which is pretty extensive, and be fingerprinted and all sorts of other things, because obviously you don't want to just let anyone in there and teach children. But let's keep going.
Now he's got a second chance and his new life's just begun. Come on, it's gonna be
Doofenshmirtz.
fun. He's starting over at 1, Doof 101.
Oh, we're gonna have
Oh, he sings.
all the things I'm gonna show you. And this all takes place in fall, so don't let the timeline throw you.
All right, so a couple of things. I noticed that on that textbook, he had a textbook that said Evil Science 101, but he just crossed out the word evil, and I guess he's just going to do science. And then he said this all takes place in fall, so don't let the timeline throw you, because as you know, most episodes of Phineas and Ferb typically take place in the summer, so this is very different here.
I'm starting over at 1 to 101.
Okay.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz is here on a trial basis.
Yeah, now we already had the trial. The judge gave me a choice of doing part-time or community service, so...
Oh, that's so bad. So The principal here says that he's there on a trial basis, meaning some sort of probationary period where they can just sort of get rid of him if they don't like him in a certain amount of time. That is not typically what happens. So in a private school setting, which I don't know what kind of school this is, but in a private school setting, I have heard of that being done. That is sort of scary, and it would be hard to get higher quality teachers because they know that they can just be fired or terminated at any point during that trial period for really any reason. So more commonly, especially in a public school district, you're going to get a year-long contract which commits that school district to you for 1 year, and you cannot be fired, at least for no reason. Now you can be fired for cause for other things, but in this trial period that he is describing, it can be just because they didn't like him or whatever. And he says, no, we already had the trial. The judge said I could go to prison or this, which is awful, and of course would never happen in real life.
Here I am, ready to impart upon these young sponge-like minds all my vast knowledge of science. That's right. Regular old science. No evil at all. In fact, I've crossed out the word evil whenever it appears in my old textbook, so it should be a piece of cake.
And that's as if to say that he's going to use this Evil Science 101 textbook and just mark out the word evil, and that makes it totally okay. I don't see that working, but all right.
Hi, sweetikins. Thank you, Principal Lang. I can take it from here.
Just so you know, Hines, I've got my eye on you. I miss nothing.
Almost.
And nice to see you, too. You know, we knew each other long ago, but that's a story for another time. I'm Dr. Doofenshmirtz, D-O-O-F-E.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Dad, come here.
Dad?
Schmertz.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Okay, he's her dad. I didn't see that coming, and again, I don't know all of the characters from Phineas and Ferb, mostly just, well, Phineas and Ferb and their sister, but I did not know this girl. Apparently he's her dad. That would make for a more interesting episode or situation. I have heard of situations where a parent has taught their own student in their own class, or their own child, that is, and it's not against the rules. I think I mentioned it before, and you all said, hey, that's not allowed, is it? It is allowed. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know of any place that has a rule against it, and in fact, in my experience, usually the teacher is a bit tougher on those students in those situations, but let's see what happens here with this little dynamic.
Isn't this great? More father-daughter time.
No, not at my school. Really?
So you're Vanessa's dad? I'm Johnny.
Didn't she dump you?
We were hardly going out.
Yes, we were.
Ah, girls don't like guys who are whiny. You're whiny. I get it. I get it.
Mr. Doofenshmirtz, if you're Vanessa's dad, is she gonna get, like, special treatment? I've taken extra booster classes in science to ensure my early
no
acceptance.
special treatment because this is not happening.
And she raises a good point. Like I was saying, I have seen this happen before, and usually the teacher is even harder on their own child than others. And this girl in the purple here is concerned about her getting special treatment. And she mentioned something about taking extra classes in order to, she said something about early acceptance. I don't know what she meant, but I have seen situations where students who want to be at the top of their class or get like extra quality points from taking more advanced classes or college classes will take more than they need for that reason, but I'm not sure what she meant by early acceptance or whatever, but let's keep going.
Principal Lang, are you brooding again?
Why does everyone always think I'm brooding?
It's my brow, isn't it? Yes, I'm brooding. It's that Heinz Doofenshmirtz. We went to community college together.
Oh, he wound up marrying Charlene.
Oh, no.
The girl that I was in love with.
Aren't they divorced now?
That's not the point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How could she have preferred him to me?
And it's one of these relationship issues from the past. Again, this happened in the movie Freaky Friday, I think, that I reacted to not long ago. Check it out if you haven't seen my reaction. But in this case, he mentions something about some prior relationship between Doofenshmirtz and somebody else. It's really sort of ridiculous, and he should not be discussing that in front of this other staff member. She looks like maybe a school secretary or receptionist or something. He should not be mentioning this at all, but let's keep going.
It's time to give up your grudge.
Give up a grudge? Never. What do you think this brow is for?
Let's start with genetics, the building blocks of life. Your genes determine what you will be. A turtle or a bird or... For instance...
Hey!
Oh, don't be a baby. You've got plenty.
Yeah, that's probably a potential firing. And he started out okay. He mentioned studying genetics, which is perfectly valid, but you can't pluck hairs out of people's heads. You just don't do that.
Shall we? Now, all of the information that makes this young man who and what he is stored in these DNA strands in every cell of his body. The genetic code is very delicate. See now, if we move this baby...
Okay, so let me get this straight. He is able to view the strands of DNA on just a regular classroom microscope. That's pretty impressive. And then also, he's using some sort of instruments here to manipulate that DNA. Wow, that would be pretty impressive if it were at all possible, but let's keep going.
His pair over to here, he would have been a gorilla or,
What?
Maybe a lizard. You see, there's this whole world of things going on. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully the DNA in the petri dish won't combine with up. See, it's happening already.
What? No.
Okay, so everyone pay attention to this. This is what I was talking about. The DNA of a human is only a few base pairs from that of a monkey.
Okay, so some sort of modified DNA that he somehow modified under a regular classroom microscope made him like start mutating into some sort of gorilla lizard hybrid. This is kind of weird. And they don't all start screaming and run away, which is what they would do in real life, but instead he just says, well, pay attention to this like it's part of the class. That's pretty funny. Okay.
See, I told you. A whiner.
What is happening?
Johnny?
It's in the gym.
Creature formerly known as Johnny?
Go away!
Johnny, you gotta come out. My dad can help you.
You hate me.
I don't hate you. We can be friends.
What is that thing?
He's just a tiny trigger's
Vanessa!
Oh. Okay, wow. And I'm starting to wonder, like, are they the only kids in the school? I haven't seen any other classes or teachers or anything like that. It's pretty much been just them. And he is able to run outside and no one seems to know about it but them. This is getting really crazy here.
Careful. Everything depends on getting the mixture precise. Excellent. Now that's how you make a Shirley Temple.
No.
Hey, Muscles, how's the antidote coming?
Almost done.
And like many other TV series with some sort of chemistry class or whatever, they have all these glowing liquids that explode and produce gas. You don't have that in high school lab classes. You just don't. Now, are there certain elements of dangerous materials that are sometimes used? Nowhere near this level, but it would be things like using a scalpel or some sort of cutting instrument, or maybe you're using the burner during a lab, or you have some agent that maybe could be irritating if you got it in your eyes or on your skin directly. Yes, I've seen that before. And you have all sorts of lab safety instruction that takes place, and things like a chemical wash station that you have in chem classes, but you don't have like this type of suit or things that explode or whatever. But in every TV series, you seem to have that somehow.
Hang on, sweetie. Well, I guess it's just like the old saying. Turn a guy into a gorilla lizard and he carries your daughter up a bell tower.
This is getting crazy.
It is not 1 o'clock.
Hey guys, how's it coming? Recess is almost over.
Almost done.
Okay, it's Phineas and Ferb. I didn't know if I would actually see them on this episode. So far, I haven't. And they're like welding, and I think I saw they're in elementary school. Elementary school students do not weld. It's a bit too dangerous, and you do have high school students that do that within certain classes, particularly certain courses within agriculture education. You do see that, but only under strict supervision and after a lot of safety instruction has taken place do they do that, and it's within those course standards. You don't have elementary school students out on the playground or wherever they were welding. That's a little much.
Ferb, look!
Johnny, put me down!
Hey, would you just stand still? You can't get a clear shot.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get to high school.
It looks like so much fun.
Hold still.
You know, as if that's kind of a normal thing for high school students. You just, fly around towers and shoot radioactive agents into mutated students. Perfectly normal. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so this is really, really crazy. Everybody's kind of flying by the seat of their pants here.
And that, class, is DNA in action.
Like it never even happened.
That's it for today. Class dismissed. Bye-bye now.
Dad? So, you're my teacher now.
I'm your teacher now.
But we're not gonna do all of this every day, right?
I'll try, but there's 261 days till next summer vacation.
Just like the song. All right, well, that was pretty much the end. It's funny, they were in class when the principal did finally come in, as if none of that happened. Like, they're just having a totally normal lesson there the whole time. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. It wasn't my favorite. I liked the other one, the Unfair Science Fair, a little bit more, but this one was okay. I would probably give it maybe a 6 out of 10. I did enjoy it. It wasn't my favorite, again, but it was pretty good. Thank you all for that recommendation. If you have any other episodes of Phineas and Ferb you'd like me to take a look at, particularly if it has some element of school in it, or even if it doesn't, let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to check it out. I look forward to seeing at least a few more Phineas and Ferbs this summer as we go through those days of summer vacation that he talks about in the song. It's just such a great theme. I look forward to seeing a few more at least. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, don't forget to subscribe using the button below. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Once again, don't forget to comment down below what you'd like to see me react to next, especially if it's an episode of Phineas and Ferb, and I'll see you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I certainly did, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.